to All Things Sports. We are live. It is Thursday and week 11 is about to kick off. Today we got 2 shots going. Look at that. We got double shots going. We're professionals over here. So got the GoPro in front of us. It looks a little good. You know, I got the webcam over here. So
before we jump into week 11, let's talk about the Bills game last week.
Dude, that was crazy. That was crazy.
I mean, not only I was upset because the Bills lost, but also it cost me my fantasy match. And
this was the story of wide receivers. It was the battle between so you had 3 wide receivers in this game that had a stake, a personal vendetta in this game. One is John Brown.
Yeah.
He's facing a team that drafted him, and he showed out until he got hurt in the third quarter.
Yeah.
He was doing great.
Yeah.
He almost had 100 yards. Then you got the 2 the 2 players in the offseason who were free agents.
Who were traded.
Yeah, that's right. The trade. Okay.
Yeah.
So you got Hopkins and you got Diggs, and everybody was talking about. A lot of Bills fans were saying that they wanted Hopkins. We paid too much for Diggs, and Diggs has been unstoppable. He's the number 1 receiver in the league right now. But Hopkins was equally. They both had the exact same amount of yards. What was the yard total? It was something exactly the same.
I think
they both had a touchdown, but Hopkins got that last one in.
Yeah, and that's
they both had game-winning touchdowns.
Everyone thought the Diggs touchdown
the Diggs
was
touchdown looked like the game-winning touchdown until
Yeah.
Hopkins took over. It was just crazy.
And
dude.
Hopkins did what Hopkins always does.
Mhm.
Dude's got 6XL hands. He's the best jump ball specialist in the league.
Yeah.
He just doesn't drop the ball. He can go up and get it over anybody, over 3 guys. And I mean, Diggs really. I've always liked Diggs, but I did think the Bills paid too much for him.
Yeah.
But he's really showed that this, so far this year, that he was worth the picks they gave up.
Yeah.
I still think they should have tried to give those same picks for Hopkins.
Yeah.
But I'm not upset at all with the Diggs trade now.
Yeah.
I mean, so far, the management for the Bills, they look pretty smart because everybody said they paid too much. And right now, it's like, would those picks really have been better?
Right.
I doubt it.
Right.
Diggs is playing really, really well. But the reason I wanted to touch on it also was Bills fans are obviously like upset, heartbroken, just this shouldn't have happened. And it shouldn't have happened. I mean, to not call timeout after you see the offense line up, I mean, that's what I was thinking. Call timeout, see the way they line up, bring in your tall players, sit them at the 5-yard line. And it did, I don't know, the whole thing was just kind of weird. It's like they didn't actually believe that the Cardinals could score. Like, oh, it's just a formality, just run off the last 11 seconds, so we don't have to really try. And that's what it felt like to me.
Yeah.
Because if you really thought they had a shot at scoring, wouldn't you have used your timeout, talked it over, put in all your taller players, for the Hail Mary? It was just kind of weird.
Yeah. The Bills played good, though.
No, they did, but that's a game they won. They outplayed
Arizona.
the
Arizona is a good team.
No, yeah, but they outplayed them, and so they should have got the W.
Yeah. I mean, it was a close game. Came down to the last second. You're seeing the future of the league right there. There's 2 quarterbacks.
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, they're both.
It's so funny because Murray's little and small and scattershot, and then Allen's huge.
But they're
both great.
Allen's like a Cam Newton.
Yeah.
Where Murray's more like a
Russell Wilson.
Yeah, that's a good comparison. It's a very good comparison.
Huge quarterback future,
and they're squaring off tonight too. Russell Wilson and Kyler Murray, the divisional foes, that's a good comparison. I never thought about that until you said that.
And they're actually playing tonight. The Seahawks and Cardinals. They're playing for first place in the NFC West.
Yeah.
And what's crazy
2
is
really good teams. By the way,
Hail Mary actually. The Cardinals went from 3rd in the division, because they were going to lose, all the way to 1st because of tiebreakers.
Yes.
So right now they are in 1st until they play this game, and then whoever wins will be in 1st place.
It's crazy how we beat Seattle and then almost beat the Cards. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Are we finished? We that division. We played that the whole division this year. Who else did we play in
They
that
played
division?
the Rams already.
Yes.
They played the Seattle. They played
We got 49ers.
49ers still.
We should be able to crush that one.
Yeah.
So we should be able to beat that division. You know what I mean? For the most part.
Overall,
yeah.
Yeah, three. If they beat the Niners, they'll be 3-1 against
Right.
the NFC West, which right now is the best division in football.
Yeah.
So,
You always want to do good against the NFC because you play 4 NFC games every year. It's always against one division.
Yep.
You always want to do good against that, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Because you want to show that you're not just a divisional team or conference team.
You're good.
You're an NFL team that's ready to. You can beat anybody on any Sunday.
You're good overall, not just in your conference,
Right.
not just in your division.
Right.
What's crazy though
Those
is
games
that,
don't matter as much in the long run. You want to win your divisional games first. Conference games you want to win second.
Yeah.
Those, but they do matter as when it comes to like power rankings and to just
they
compare
matter.
your team to other. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah. When it comes to tiebreakers, those non-conference games don't mean a lot, but they do to the perception of how good your team is. To, like you said, power rankings, confidence of the team. Like we can play anybody. We can beat the NFC. We can beat the AFC. We can beat our division.
Right.
So it's what's crazy though is that Hail Mary like just changed so much because now Miami is nipping at the Bills' heels.
Yes.
One game back.
The
Which
defense
is
that
crazy.
defense has been amazing.
Yeah.
And they've been riddled with injuries on offense. Gaskin getting hurt.
Yeah.
Running backs down to
Preston
the third,
Williams
fourth string
is on
running back.
IR,
Yeah, dude.
wide receiver.
And it's not like their quarterback play's been that great, really.
No, he hasn't really had to do anything yet, Tua. The defense, the special teams, they've really been showing out the running game.
That's interesting, though, because when you got a defense like that, all Tua has to do is manage the game and they can win.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what I'm saying. I think we can beat them, but I'm not going to guarantee that game yet. I think that's going to be a closer game than we expect.
That could be the game for the division, week 17.
Yeah.
That's when they play.
You're right. And it's going to be, you're right.
So
it's going to come down to our offense versus their defense.
Yeah.
And because I think our defense trumps their offense.
Yeah, the Bills' defense prior years was great, and then
but we
this
still
year
had those.
started
We still
out
had
really
those
bad,
key players, though.
But the Bills' defense started out awful this year, but they've been coming on lately.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We still have those key players. We still have White. We still have Jerry Hughes. We still have in the middle, Edmonds. So the key players are there. They just have to execute.
Yeah.
So I'm not worried about our defense as much as as most people are. I think that they have the potential to be a good defense.
Yep.
Our offense is what we had an issue with for years, and now we don't even. That's not even.
Obviously, getting Allen and solving quarterback problem was probably most important.
Yeah.
But other than that, they needed a number one receiver.
Yeah, Diggs is really doing it.
They had a great number 2. Brown's a good number 2. Beasley's an awesome slot receiver.
Yeah.
But they needed a number 1 because without Diggs and without a number 1, now Brown's trying to be a number 1 and he's not. And Beasley's trying to be a number 2 and he's not. Right. Now they all are in their roles.
Yep.
So it's really made a huge difference to the Diggs trade.
And John Brown, man, I mean, he's been banged up a lot this year. He hasn't played in a lot of games, but when he's full 100%, when he adds that complementary role to Diggs, we're a force. And then you got Beasley in the slot.
Beasley's such a monster.
Beasley he had killing it this year.
He had the best game of all the receivers, if you want to really talk about it. I mean, he was a monster in fantasy. Right. I think he had like 27.9 points or something crazy like that.
Yeah.
And he had the one-handed snag on third down. And
then don't forget about my man Knox at tight end. He's been banged up all year too. But when he gets back to full strength, he's like, as soon as he gets the ball, he turns into a fullback. Usually he's just knocking people over, just like. And I really think that he's a young player. He's like 23 years old. I really feel like we should hold on to him and invest into that player because he's got a lot of talent. Sometimes he drops the ball and he doesn't have the best hands in the world. He's not a good blocker really too. But when he gets the ball, dude, he literally turns into Mike Allstott.
He's talented. He's just real inconsistent right now.
Yeah.
And part of that is probably being young.
Yeah.
Exactly. So he needs experience. He needs to get his confidence up.
He was 22 when he came in the NFL.
And then I think the drops and the mental errors will stop.
But you can work on those things.
Yeah, definitely.
And then you got the other tight end too, who's
Tyler Kroft.
Tyler Kroft.
Yeah.
Okay, I like him.
Yeah, I mean, when Knox was hurt, Kroft played well. I mean, he came in, he stepped in and actually played better than Knox really had this year so far.
Yeah.
But they're Allen and the wide receiver team.
Yes.
because their running backs are average.
Yeah, this is a
tight
3
ends
wide receiver
average.
set base offense.
Yeah, they're 11 personnel all the way.
Like for years, we had that fullback thing going on. We were
No.
just a running team.
Yeah.
Finally, we're done with that. No
Yep.
more fullback.
Yeah.
Throw a slot receiver in there. Throw a tight end on there.
Because,
Single back formation.
11
Either
personnel,
Singletary or Moss, whoever's got to be.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, so you want to get your best players on the field, and their best skill position players on offense are definitely Diggs, Brown, Beasley.
Right.
So they're going to be in 11 personnel. They're going to get those 3 guys on the field as much as possible, pretty much every snap.
One thing I want to see get better though is our rushing attack.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's like sometimes it's not even the running backs.
No, you're right. They both
play
look
call,
good.
Well, and they bail from the run early.
Yeah.
Like they'll be running early in the game and they'll be really successful, and then the second half they won't run the ball.
You know what
And,
bothers me
weird
sometimes?
stuff like
Sometimes
that.
we'll be up a good lead in the second half, and they're
Still throwing. They need to learn to stick to the run, and then I think the run can be successful because Singletary looks good, Moss looks good, they both look good.
Yeah.
They're just not getting enough touches to make a difference.
Right. Yeah,
So-
like you said, when you see you're seeing flashes of Singletary making big plays. You're seeing flashes of Moss making big plays. They both are good in the goal line. They're both good on
Yeah.
third down. And it's like they're not. It's not like that. You know what's going to happen when one of them's on the field.
Yeah.
You can bluff with both players
both
because
can
they
catch,
both do the
both
same
can
thing.
run, yeah.
Yeah. So
Yep.
I kind of like that idea.
They
where
need to, especially now that the weather's getting colder and like we're getting into like getting ready for playoff football, they need to commit to the run.
Yeah.
And they need to just continue to run,
Yeah.
especially if they're winning.
Yeah. So hopefully we see that.
Yeah,
increase.
for sure.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's move on to week
Sure.
11. This game's about to start with Arizona and Seattle. Let's pick this game real quick.
Okay.
Just
All right.
so we have it picked before the game starts.
So here we go. This is
What's the spread? It's been
it is
moving.
-5.5 at Seattle. So Cardinals are favored. I'm sorry, Cardinals are getting 5.5 points.
They're getting 5.5?
Yes.
Wow, I didn't think it was that big
This
of a
is right
difference.
now. I just uploaded this.
I know it's been moving a lot, but I
This is
didn't.
on CBS NFL, so I'm pretty sure it's legit.
Okay.
Um,
Wow, this has got -3.
I'm taking Cards.
It's got -3.
Where is that?
The score.
Well, we got to either use this
Yeah,
one or
it's-
that one.
That's weird.
What? Yeah, that's not weird. That's pretty. They vary from wherever you're going.
That's a lot, though. 2.5. That's
Do you want to
almost
use
double.
CBS or do you want to use that? Because then I can just get rid of this. We could just use your phone.
Let's just do this then.
All right.
Because I've used this for a long time.
Okay.
So it's very reliable.
All right.
All right, so Seahawks -3. That makes more sense to me. They're at home.
Yeah, it
On a
does.
neutral field, it would be a pick 'em
Yeah.
because the home team gets 3 points.
Well, in that case, I'm saying
that makes a lot of sense.
In that case, I'm going to take the Seahawks.
I'm going to take the Seahawks as well. Here's the thing.
I don't feel good about that though.
No, me
I
neither.
think it's going to be a close game.
This is a
If
true
it was 5.5,
toss-up.
like CBS said, I'm taking Cards.
This is a true toss-up, and the reason that it tips in Seattle's favor, in my mind, is that they have not lost at home this year, and they've always been good at home.
Yeah.
And Russell Wilson does not lose like 3 games in a row.
Yeah.
That just does. I don't know if that's ever even happened since he's been a pro.
Right.
So that's what but I don't feel great about it. Like I
Yeah.
could easily see the Cardinals winning this game.
Yeah.
No problem. Especially with that Hail Mary, dude. You know how good that is for their confidence from last week? So
The only thing about the reason and what I
Could be a let
I
up.
factored this in for my Seattle pick is that they've been losing lately, and that doesn't happen very often. It doesn't happen for a long time. You don't get long periods of losing with Russell Wilson.
no, you don't.
So
That's-
I
yeah.
think this is especially a divisional game.
Yep.
At Seattle. I mean, I know there's no fans there and stuff like that, but they're at home. They're feeling comfortable. They
Yep.
want to bounce back.
their normal
That's why I'm
routine.
taking
They
Seattle.
woke up today in
Yeah,
their beds.
I'm taking
Normal
Se-
routine.
Right.
Yeah, so we both took Seattle, but it's going to be a great game, and I think it's going to be a really close game. The last time they played, a couple weeks ago, went to overtime, and Arizona ended up winning.
Yeah.
And it literally looked like, Seattle's definitely going to win. Oh, no, Arizona's going to win. It was literally back and forth.
Yeah.
So it was a great game. Do you want to keep going schedule, or you want to jump into fantasy first?
This is fantasy.
Okay. I just wanted to pick that
Yeah,
game
just to
before
get
it
that over with.
started.
Yeah.
Because it's about to start in like less than 10 minutes.
Oh, I think I need to log in real quick.
So, yeah, let's talk about fantasy, and then once we're done with that, we'll go back to the rest of the Week 11 schedule.
All right. So, let's go. Quarterbacks. You want to do quarterbacks first?
Yeah, go ahead. Jump us off.
All right. So, who do I love this week? We're going off the cuff this week. we're just gonna look at this and pick. So, you know who I like this week? Alex Smith.
Alex Smith
starting for Washington.
He has a great matchup.
He's playing against Cincinnati. Yeah, they are 29th against quarterbacks this year.
Yeah.
They're averaging 25 points a game to quarterbacks. But Alex Smith, I know he's had a serious, almost life-changing injury. However, I think he can bounce back this week. I'm just calling it.
Yeah.
I'm going on Alex Smith right now. I love Alex Smith this week.
I love Justin Herbert, but I've been saying that for weeks now, and I think that at this point he's cemented himself as like an every week starter.
Yeah.
So I just want to throw that out there. I do love him. He's got a great matchup. He's been matchup proof. But for someone that's kind of a deeper dive, if you're looking for someone to pick up and play, I like Jameis Winston / Taysom Hill.
Yeah.
Whoever gets the start for the Saints.
They're both right next to them.
Because Michael Thomas is back. Kamara, you can just dump the ball off to him and he can just make stuff happen. And their matchup is incredible.
Yeah.
They're facing Seattle.
The worst team against the pass is
Atlanta.
Yeah.
So they have the best matchup possible. Michael Thomas is healthy finally.
Yeah.
So I love whoever they name the starter. That's who you need to if you need to pick someone up, if your quarterback's on a bye or your quarterback's hurt, pick up Jameis Winston or Taysom Hill. Most likely Winston's going to start, but you never know. So, and for depending on your format, I know ESPN for sure. If you're playing for ESPN and tight end's been a wasteland this year, you need to go grab Taysom Hill right now.
Yeah,
he is listed as a tight end and a quarterback.
Yeah, you could start him
as your tight end
flex
slot
if you have to. You know,
yeah, you could flex him. You could start him in your tight end spot. And tight end has been so bad this year that it's ridiculous. He's going to throw the ball. He's going to run the ball, wildcat. He's going to catch some passes probably. I mean, he gets so many touches, especially now that Drew Brees is hurt. So check your format.
That's a great
ESPN is definitely, he's listed as a tight end. And really, the only tight ends I can see is starting above him this week, Taysom Hill, would be Waller and Kelsey.
Yeah.
Anybody else, I would start Taysom Hill over. So definitely. So
tight ends are terrible this year.
Awful. Yeah. I mean, it's been bad for years, but this year it's really bad. You
Like,
only have two good tight ends, really.
Like for example, Goddard exploded last year as a backup.
Yeah.
Now he's by himself. I know he's coming off an injury,
but still.
But last week was supposed to be his week, and he did not show up.
No.
So I'm thinking maybe this week, but we don't know that.
But that's how tight ends been this year. If you don't have Waller or Kelsey, you're just looking for a touchdown.
But you know what, though?
And those are so unpredictable.
You know what, though? It's kind of like that every year. Okay, so let's go back. Maybe 8-9 years ago, Gronk. If you didn't have Gronk or Jimmy Graham, you were. They're all. It went Gronk,
Back
Jimmy Graham.
Then, Greg Olsen was a beast.
Greg Olsen was 3, but he'd be like I'm sorry. What's his name for San Fran?
Kittle.
Kittle's
he's a monster though, but he's hurt.
That's what I'm saying. He'd be like where Kittle is now. You know, he's not like every week, but he was killing it.
Yeah, I'm
but
not saying.
Let me finish my point though. It's always been that way. There's always been 2, maybe 1-2 dominant week-to-week tight ends every year, and then it would drop off tremendously. And then from like 2 to 10, they're all bouncing up 5 points, 10 points, 12 points, 20 points, 10 points, 5 points. Inconsistent.
My point is that usually the second tier is better, and you usually have a couple tight ends come out of nowhere to be great.
Yeah.
Like think about last year, Waller out of nowhere, top 5 tight end. You were able to get him in the later rounds or undrafted, right? Yeah. Higbee last year, out of nowhere, beast in the playoffs, beast at the end of the season, and usually you have that. This year, not only is the second tier, there is no second tier, and you only have 2 people at the top. But then Kittle's hurt, and you have no up-and-comers.
Yeah.
Like even last year, Mark Andrews came out of nowhere. Waller, Higbee. Yep. I mean, you had a bunch of guys that you could get late or undrafted that were great. You don't have that at all. There's like 2 guys.
It's pretty bad this year.
2 guys, and that's it. No second tier.
I agree.
No up-and-comers. It's just bad.
My next love is Ben Roethlisberger.
That's a good one.
He's a top 10 quarterback fantasy-wise, but his matchup is juicy. Jacksonville. 30th against the pass, 27 points per game to opposing quarterbacks. So you got Ben Roethlisberger. You are feeling good about starting him.
And if I had to pick a second guy, and this is for people that are hurting at tight end. I mean, at quarterback this week, whether it's injuries, buys, whatever. You know, if you really need to dig down, you can't get Winston, whatever. I would pick up. I just lost my train of thought. Kirk Cousins.
Okay.
He has a great matchup, and they're playing against Dallas. And Cook obviously could go off, but I'm talking about like if you just have to grab somebody. That would be my next guy.
Yep.
Great matchup. It's worth a shot. There's a lot worse, and he's available.
He's averaging 20 points a game.
Yeah, a lot of these guys are not available, so I'm picking at the very bottom of the barrel.
You know what I noticed though? This game is getting every year. It's more and more of a passing game than compared to 10 years ago or 20 years ago.
Yeah,
20 points for quarterbacks now is the new 10.
Yeah,
it really is.
But you need, if you want to win, you got to get at least 20 out of your quarterback.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
you really want 30 though.
No, of course.
I mean, the top 10 quarterbacks are getting 25 points a game usually.
But what I'm saying is, even on a
Aaron
bye
Rodgers
week,
gets 35.
Even if your starters on a
Herbert's
bye,
getting 30 points a game. So that's what you want. But I mean, you can't always have what you want. But.
Yeah, if you're streaming quarterbacks though, or your quarterback got hurt, like you had Dak Prescott, or
you just want
or
20
your guys
points.
on a bye, you gotta try and get 20 out of no matter who you start.
Yeah.
So that's why it's so crucial.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So yeah, it's really important. All right, let's move on to running back.
Who do you hate though?
Oh, okay. For QB this week, I
got one off the bat. Jared Goff.
Yeah.
He's already 19th overall. He's not having a great year. He's averaging under 20 points, 19.8 points a game. And his matchup against Tampa Bay, they've been killing it against quarterbacks, only allowing 18 points per game to opposing quarterbacks. So I would say he might hit 18 points himself.
Yeah. So if I had to pick a hate, and there's a good chance if you have this guy, you still have to play him, but temper expectations. Tom Brady.
Okay.
Really tough matchup.
Yeah, second against the pass.
He's been really inconsistent too.
Yeah.
Already as it is.
Yeah, the Rams have been shutting quarterbacks down. 16 points a game is all they've been getting. That's really good.
And how do you fluster Brady? You get pressure in his face. Aaron Donald.
He hates that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers, he's been amazing this year.
The worst.
He only had one bad game all year, but his matchup is
worst in the league.
So bad.
Look at this. Indy's the best against quarterbacks.
They're only letting quarterbacks get 16 points a game on them.
And
do you know how horrible that is?
In today's NFL and today's fantasy, 16, that's like what?
That's horrible.
Yeah.
You're not playing that.
No, so it's like you probably have to start Rodgers.
You have to.
But you need to just hope for 20 points.
Because you think with a team like that, Indy's been killing it, but you think there's going to be games where they're going to allow more points. A guy like Rodgers would be the guy to do it.
Well, and I don't know if you saw this, but Devontae Adams popped up on the injury report.
Yes.
So
yeah,
worst matchup.
You know what's
Adams
crazy? What's crazy is Izzard is coming back.
Lazard.
Yeah, Lazard.
Yep.
He's coming back this week.
Yeah.
And
but
the way
Adams.
The way Marquez Scanning's been playing, those three, if they get all full of them back, that would help Rodgers in this matchup. He needs all the help he can get against this defense.
I mean, Indy's good against the run too, so they're just overall a really good defense. But this could be like an Aaron Jones game.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I agree. Yeah.
If they're gonna try and soften up that defense.
Let's go to running backs.
All right, let's move on to running backs. Who do you love?
Let's see here. I'm gonna you know who I'd like? Mike Davis.
Yeah.
So Christian McCaffrey's out. Mike Davis gets to feast upon the Detroit Lions, averaging 36.7 points a game to opposing running backs.
Yeah.
He's going to feast.
Detroit is the worst against the running back in fantasy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's going to be a great matchup. Christian McCaffrey's out. Teddy Bridgewater's unlikely to play.
Mike Davis is number 10 overall. He's going to have a great year as a bet.
Bridgewater's unlikely to play.
Yeah.
And McCaffrey's out, so they're going to have to lean on him.
They're going to have to lean on him, yeah.
Yeah, so that's a great love. Yeah, he was one of my loves as well. If I have to pick another love, James Conner this week.
Nice.
I'm not a huge James Conner fan when it comes to fantasy. I like him as a player overall. But this week, good matchup against Jacksonville. And if they jump out to a big lead, they're going to want to just grind out the second half. Eat up the clock.
Yeah, they're averaging 27 points a game.
So, yeah. So, I mean, I could see a big second half where they just keep, handing them the ball if they're up big already.
Yeah.
And they've been blowing teams out. So, it's definitely possible.
Yeah. That's definitely a good pick right there. Anyone else in mind?
You know what? There's a couple.
Oh,
really,
you know who I like? DeAndre Swift.
I
he's
was going to say
questionable.
him, but he's questionable.
I think.
I don't think he's going to play.
Oh, really? Is that
Yeah,
true? Okay, so I guess not.
Well, this is what I
So
don't
here's
understand.
my
He
reasoning
popped up
though. Here's my reasoning behind it though. His matchup against Carolina. I think it's gonna be a running game. I think it would be if he's playing, if he was full, if he wasn't injured. This is what I was saying. It would be a rushing game, both sides, and I think Swift would kill it against. They're averaging 28 points a game against running backs. But if he doesn't play, then
Yeah.
hit the wah wah wah.
So here's the thing. I have DeAndre Swift. I drafted him. I knew that I was hoping it was earlier in the season that he took the starting role, but he finally seizes the starting role, has a monster game last week, practices yesterday, and then all of a sudden he pops up with a concussion today.
Yeah.
What, did he fall in the shower?
I don't know. I didn't know about that. I actually did not
heard
know
about it on my way home.
Yeah, I didn't know about that until right now.
So
that's
I'm
why
like,
I had him as a love. I didn't know. I really didn't know.
I love him. I have him on my fantasy team. I really hope he plays. But if he really does have a concussion and the reports are true, he's not going to be able to clear the 5-step protocol by Sunday.
The good thing about a concussion, though, is it's not a lingering injury like a foot injury or like if he does play, it's not going to affect him.
Yeah, as long as he doesn't take another hit to the head.
Yeah, unless he's like have bad headaches
so,
or something. But
believe
I doubt
me,
that.
I hope he plays, and if he plays, I absolutely love him.
Yeah.
I mean, you watch him and you're like, wow,
Yeah.
he's one of the most talented running backs in the league.
Yeah,
and they finally handed him the reins.
You know what I noticed is that Jonathan Taylor has the juiciest matchup, second juiciest matchup.
Can you trust him?
But ESPN's only giving him 9 points. Which I think is right. You can't trust him
because
he's
got
having
3 running
terrible
backs.
year.
He's fumbling all the time.
Yeah.
They love Hines. They give Wilkins the ball at the goal line.
Hines gets all the
and
Taylor's
Taylor's been fumbling, so they've been giving Wilkins the goal line.
That's my first hate this week, and I feel good about not liking him even against that good matchup.
Yeah, I completely agree there.
Yeah.
You just can't trust him. Another guy that I hate this week is Todd Gurley. Really tough matchup.
Yeah, very tough matchup.
The only thing going for them is they're coming off the bye.
Yeah.
But he has such a tough matchup, and they're also another team. They like to use Brian Hill and Ito Smith.
Yeah.
And from what I've heard, it's because he really wants to stay fresh, and they're worried about his knees, and he also wants to, stay fresh throughout the season.
He is coming off that bye, though.
That's what I just said. Yeah.
And he's been surprising everybody all year.
Yeah, he's been
sitting out for quarters at a time and then come back in scoring a touchdown.
Yeah.
Like he's getting fantasy points on a regular basis. He only has, I want to say it's 2 games under double-digit points, but that one game is 9.7 points. But other than those 2 games, he's having a great season, which a lot of people didn't expect that.
No,
but you're right.
Absolutely.
You're ultimately right, though. The matchup against New Orleans is terrible. They've been shutting running backs down all year. So I agree. I don't like him at all. Dude, you know what's crazy is I'm playing against you this week, and those are my 2. I have my 2 starters that are my whole team's hurt,
or I'm bye.
Either IR or bye, and all I have left is Gurley and Rodgers, and it's the number 1 and number 2 ranked defense.
The worst matchups.
Yeah, so I'm destined to lose this week, dude. It's terrible.
Yeah,
but it happens.
You never know though in fantasy.
You never
know. A couple
know.
weeks ago, I played the worst team in the league. I was projected to win by 30. And his team went off, and he scored 150 points.
I picked up
I lost.
Picked up Brandon Cooks, Sterling Shepard, and
I mean,
you produced it for me.
Yeah, your lineup. I mean, you still filled out your lineup. Your lineup is not bad.
I'm starting Le'Veon Bell this week, and I'm not feeling good about it. However, I'm going to say this. Here's the scenario for Bell owners
it's a good
that
matchup.
could possible happen. First of all, it's a great matchup. What are they? 27th against the run.
Yep.
Let me just pull that up real quick.
It is, they're 27.
Yeah.
They're allowing, they're
so
one of the worst teams in the league against.
So Bell has been terrible all year. He hasn't done anything. He's just been awful. He's 79th ranked. That looks like a player doesn't. That's like a practice squad number right there. 79th ranked running back. He's been either hurt or not playing, and then he finally gets to the Chiefs, and they're like, "Oh, he's going to split carries," and he's not really splitting carries. He's not doing anything. But you got to give him the benefit of the doubt. He's playing against he's on a new offense, doesn't know the playbook yet. This could be his week that he just comes off the bye, learns the playbook, gets acclimated to an offense that he might be good with. So if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen right now.
You're right.
If it doesn't happen this week, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, if it's gonna happen, it's gonna be coming off the bye.
Yeah.
Andy Reid's great off the bye.
So I have no choice but to take that risk.
Amber said to stop complaining. She commented in the live stream.
Yeah, I have no options but to take the risk because of how low my team's projected is. I have to take risk right now. I'm in risk mode right now.
And sometimes that's what happens is that a lot of your players end up on bye in 1 week, and that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
I mean, and this year was weird because you could try and plan like where you only had 1 or 2 guys on bye, but with COVID, the schedule moved.
Yeah.
So it's like you could have thought, I only have 1 or 2 guys on bye every week throughout the byes.
Right.
But then all of a sudden they changed the schedule around, and it's like, oh, now I got 5 guys on bye or 4 guys on bye.
Yep.
And it's not even your fault because you drafted and you paid attention to the byes,
and
it didn't matter. COVID moved everything around.
Yeah, it changed everything.
So it's tough. So you just
let's go to that's our hates, right?
Yeah,
let's go to wide receiver.
Yep. So let's go to wide receiver.
Who do you
Do
love?
you have any drop frames?
I had a couple, yeah.
Okay, Amber said it's freezing.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's just coming back right now.
Okay.
It's gonna happen a little bit. We have to figure out. I need to get an extender back here. That's what I need.
Okay. All right, let's move to wide receiver.
Yeah. DeAndre Hopkins. Okay, I don't know. You can't love DeAndre Hopkins because he's always good.
Already elite. Yeah.
But look at his matchup,
and
I'm not going to be surprised if this dude hits 40 points this week.
Seattle's top corners are out.
Look at their averaging, 57 points a game to opposing wide receivers.
And Seattle's top corners are out.
57. I know, dude. DeAndre Hopkins right now and this week, it's like a collision course. It's like a eclipse, a lunar and solar eclipse at once. They're both. He's got the best receiver, one of the best receivers, against the best matchup possible. And look at this dude coming off a 25-point game. This dude is going to kill it this week.
My loves for this week, and obviously I don't want to just go to someone at the top.
Yeah.
But I love Justin Jefferson this week.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Good matchup.
He balled out last week, and it wasn't the greatest matchup. He's got a great matchup this week.
Yeah.
So he's just really been showing out lately.
Yeah.
And then I also really like Terry McLaurin.
Oh, yeah.
Dude.
Another young player.
He's one of these guys where he's had so many different quarterbacks, and he produces with all of them.
Yeah. He can
He's
get open.
like Hopkins was.
He gets open.
Remember Hopkins early in his career? He just was like going through. He had all these different QBs, and it didn't matter.
Yeah.
He just still balled out, like just random QB after random QB.
Yeah, Case Keenum and all these. Yeah.
Houston had multiple different QBs and just like random guys like Osweiler and who else did they have? They had like just these.
They had a lot of funny
scrubs.
players.
Yeah, like I think they had Hoyer at one point and just a bunch of just terrible players. So McLaurin's been like that. And he can take a slant because Alex Smith likes to throw the ball short. He can take a slant to the house at any moment.
Right.
So those are two of the receivers that I love this week.
You
got another love or you want to move
on
to hate?
We can move to hate. Well, Devontae Adams is banged up already. But even if he does play, I don't like his matchup against the I'm actually gonna hate Devontae Adams this week. Bad matchup against the Colts. Colts defense has been amazing this year. And he's banged up as it is, so if he does play, I don't like him this week. I mean, you have to start him.
Yeah, of course.
I'm just saying.
No, definitely.
Don't temper your expectations.
Temporary expectations, absolutely.
How about you?
It's just one of those, you have to play him, but it's just one of those things you don't like.
Yeah.
My hates this week are...
Tampa?
Yeah, I hate Mike Evans this week.
Okay, that's a good pick.
He's going to get shadowed by Ramsey.
Yeah.
They could put Ramsey on Antonio Brown, but I think they're going to put him on Mike Evans.
That's
the only thing that makes sense.
You can't let him get open.
So, I do not like Evans at all, and he hasn't been great this year anyways.
Yeah.
So Evans is definitely one of my hates, and another hate is I hate the Panthers wide receivers this week.
Yeah.
But
DJ
it
Moore?
looks like Bridgewater's not going to play.
Yeah, DJ
So,
Moore.
They're going to have PJ Walker, who
and they're already splitting the targets up 3 ways.
3 ways, exactly.
So that's not good.
So like, if I had to pick one wide receiver out of the Panthers, I would probably say Samuel because they're probably going to do more like gadgety plays.
Yeah, and I can see why you picked that.
Because they don't have a good quarterback. So I could see more end arounds and like weird stuff like that. And Samuel is that
Yeah,
kind of
Robbie
gadget
Anderson
guy.
started off smoking hot on fire.
He's cooled off.
He's been cooled off a little bit, yeah.
Yep. So
People are figuring him out.
I mean, if Bridgewater plays, that changes things. But
Yeah.
it said after I got out of work, it said unlikely. After all week, they were saying he was probably going to play.
Yeah.
And now they're saying it's unlikely. So
Yep. We can go to tight ends now.
let's move to tight ends. For my love for tight end for this week, this is only for some formats. I already talked about it a little bit earlier. Taysom Hill.
Yeah.
That's just like a cheat code. If
Yeah.
he's listed as a tight end in your format, depending on ESPN, he 100% is. Some other formats he may be. So that's just like a no-brainer.
Yeah.
So you gotta plug him in there. So he's one of my loves. And who do you like?
It's a good question. There's not a lot of tight ends out there that I like.
It's tough.
You know what though? I'm actually gonna go. I'm gonna go crazy here. I'm gonna gamble, and I'm gonna go with Goddard. Goddard coming off an injury, and people have been waiting for him to shine because Ertz is out, and even the other guy's out too.
Richard Rodgers?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's out.
Okay.
He was out last week.
Yeah.
So it's supposed to be Goddard all by himself. All the targets. He was on the field for every single snap. He only got like 7 targets, and he caught like 5 of them.
Yeah.
So he had a 9-point game or something like that. But this week, I think he's going to finally be fully healed, ready to go. They kind of rushed him back out a little bit. I think this could be his week.
That's
I
definitely,
said, I think I said it earlier. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen now. Goddard. I have a lot of situations like that in my team. Goddard's one of them. Bell's one of them. So I'm hoping.
Yeah.
See what happens. I mean, Goddard's potential is there. We all know that.
Yeah, he's super
We all know what he can do.
Yeah, he has the talent.
Week 1, he had 14 targets, 10 catches.
Yeah, that was a crazy game.
Yeah, so it wasn't like it was years ago.
Yeah.
It happened this year.
Yep.
I mean, so it's not that crazy to say that.
And
that was with Ertz.
I know.
You know what I'm saying?
That game made Ertz owners scared.
Yes.
Like, what? I drafted Ertz early.
That's why I took both. I drafted Ertz, then I took Goddard just in case. So I wasn't feeling scared. I was like, well, maybe I can go with Goddard.
Yep.
And then it was just got all crazy and injuries, and it was a mess.
I didn't end up drafting Ertz or Goddard in any of my leagues, but when I was doing my mock drafts, whenever I did a mock where I took Ertz, I always took Goddard because I was I almost had to.
Based off last year, you had
it's
to.
rare to do that with tight ends, but you almost had to in that situation. So my other love for this week at tight end is Logan Thomas.
Okay.
For the Washington Redskins.
Nice.
I'm going to call them the Redskins until they actually choose a name.
I agree. I don't care. I'm
the
calling them the
Washington
Redskins.
football team.
Do you want to know something about that?
Come out with a real name.
I hate to get political right now. Listen though. Do you know who chose to make? You know who got offended about the Redskins names? White people.
I know.
They did polls 3 times.
Natives did not
they
care.
They tried 3 times to get these natives to say they don't like the name. They like it.
They like it.
They voted. We like the name. All of our high schools. If you go on Native American
the
schools,
most common name.
all of their high school teams' names are Redskins or Seminoles.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
Chiefs.
literally.
They love those names. They're proud of that. That's their pride.
You actually, that's exactly what I was
going
to say, and you took the words
and
out of my
then
mouth.
white people are like, "That's offensive, but take that name away."
That is
Who
the
are you
most.
to decide
That is
for
the
some-
most common name.
And guess who named that team?
And
a Native American back in the 60s named that team. He was one of the. I don't know if he was the owner or GM or something. He was a Native American. He picked the name.
Redskins was a. They were feared warriors by their enemies. And
you want to know what the name means?
That's a term of endearment. Like,
no,
it's actually a good thing.
You know what Oklahoma means? Oklahoma means redskin in their language.
It means
they call themselves the Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Where are the Redskins? That's what they called themselves.
They were fierce
Oklahoma
warriors.
is Redskin.
And that's why they like the name. The
Fact
most
check
common
me.
name on the reservations.
Go ahead, fact check me, look it up.
Like you said before, most common name on the reservation for their football teams and stuff
Yeah.
is Redskins.
Yeah.
So
we changed the name Oklahoma, the state of Oklahoma, to something more PC.
You could literally do that with anything.
Yeah.
Like, so until they actually, and then I was like, okay, fine, whatever. I don't agree with it. Like, I don't think they should change the name.
I don't care if they do.
If you're going to change the name, change the name. They didn't come up with a new name.
Dumb.
They came up with Washington Football Team. Like, you had time to pick a name.
Right.
So, whatever. Anyways, so Logan Thomas,
they
Washington
should definitely
Redskins.
keep the name somewhere within that realm, like Seminoles or
I just thought they should change
Braves,
it to the Warriors.
Washington Braves.
Washington Warriors.
That's fine, yeah.
Washington Warriors.
Because you can't just, that's their, I mean, a lot of those a lot of the Native Americans across the country love that team. Not even living in Washington.
Yeah.
All the Native American reservations, that's their team.
I said from the very, very beginning, just change it to Washington Warriors. They could even keep the logo, but they're not going to do that. They're going to try and distance themselves. They're going to try and come up with a completely different name, which I think is a mistake, but whatever.
Yeah.
So I think if they're going to do that and go with a completely different name, they need to change their colors. They need to like completely
start
reset.
over. Yeah.
So anyway, so Logan Thomas, I talked about it before. Alex Smith likes to check down.
Yeah.
J.D. McKissick is a beast now with Alex Smith checking down to him.
Yeah.
Logan Thomas is another target he likes to check down to. And then McLaurin, he likes to throw like quick passes and slants to McLaurin.
I gotta hate.
So I like Logan Thomas a lot this week if you need a tight end.
Yeah.
And he's available in a lot of leagues.
I hate Noah Fant this week.
Yeah.
I mean, Noah Fant was starting to look like a good TE1, and then he kind of just. It's not even. I don't know if it's him. I think it's quarterback.
I agree with you. And Locke might not even play.
Yeah, and not only that, he's questionable. He didn't practice today, or was it yesterday? No, he came back to practice today. He didn't practice yesterday, which is that's pretty makes you nervous if you're Noah Fant owner. He's back to practice today as a limited practice, so I'm staying away from him. His matchup's bad. Seventh against tight ends. The Dolphins. Dolphins are a great defense. They're going to shut him down.
No, definitely.
Stay away from Noah Fant this week.
No, I agree.
I'm not going to. We don't have to hate that much. You can pick one though.
No, it's fine. I don't even care.
Yeah, because tight ends have been
tight
so
end is
bad
such
this year.
a wasteland.
I feel like we already talked about tight ends being so bad.
We did, yeah. We talked about it
let's just
before.
say collectively we hate all tight ends except for the top three.
Exactly. unless it's Waller, Kelsey,
and then Logan Thomas this week, and then maybe hopefully Goddard.
Matchup dependent. But the only guys you can really start with confidence each week is Kelsey and Waller, really.
That's it.
So,
yeah.
All right, let's move to the Week 11 schedule.
Yep. So
we already picked the Seattle game.
I'm just showing this. We can compare the spreads. We can use yours, but this is so people can see. Lions at Panthers. This one has -3. I don't know.
We're going to use that. We're going to keep using that one.
Yeah.
So
I'm just going to get off this thing. We're going to.
Yeah, you don't even have to show that really.
So you have to announce the games then, because I can't see it now.
Yeah, no, we will.
Right.
So we both took the Seahawks -3.
Yep.
The next game is Tennessee Titans versus the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah.
Ravens are -6.
All right. Titans at the Ravens.
It is. Let me see. Yeah, it's a Baltimore.
Titans at Ravens, and the Ravens have -6. Oh wow, that's a really good
That's
spread.
a good spread. Yeah.
I'm gonna say, that's tough. That's really tough.
Do you want me to pick first?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna take the Titans +6.
Yeah, I was leaning that way. I think
I just don't trust the Ravens. They've been winning still.
I know,
but I just don't trust them.
Titans are a good team. I'm gonna agree with you.
I think the Titans
take the points.
Yeah, 6
I
points.
Think even if it was no spread, the Titans could win that game.
Exactly, they could definitely win outright. And 6 points is enough. Where it's like, okay, if they're both good teams but inconsistent, I'm gonna take the points.
I agree.
So we agree there. Next game, Detroit Lions at Carolina Panthers.
What's the spread?
Spread is no spread right now.
0
because of Bridgewater's
I'm
unlikely
just
to play.
Curious. I just want to see what this one says.
Matthew Stafford is questionable. They took the spread away.
Where is it even on here?
A lot of them are doing that because it's so up in the air.
Why do I not see the
Swift is up in the air to play. Stafford's injured. Bridgewater's unlikely to play now. So it's really,
it's right here. I passed it. Oh, Lions at Panther. Okay, this one has -3 for the Panthers.
They have a spread.
Yeah, this one does.
Yeah, the most up to date ones.
Let's use yours though.
I mean, we can use that.
I only want to use one source though. Do you want to use this one?
Well, only because this one doesn't have one.
That makes sense though.
Yeah, not really though. Not if
The
Bridgewater
Panthers-
doesn't play
Yeah, but the Panthers are still a better team than the Lions
with a backup QB, PJ Walker versus Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, you run. I mean, it's a running team though with a good with
the only reason we'll only use that one for that game because this one doesn't have a spread.
Yeah, I'm going to take
Detroit +3.
Yeah, I'll take the Panthers.
You're gonna take Panthers.
Yeah, I think they're going to run the ball, play good defense, and
okay. So all right, so I'm taking Detroit +3, and that's a disagreement.
Yeah.
All right. Next game is Philadelphia Eagles at Cleveland Browns. Cleveland Browns are -3.
Eagles?
Yeah.
At Browns?
Yeah, Eagles at Browns. Browns are -3.
I got the Browns.
I'm going to take the Browns as well. I just don't
feel
trust
good about
the Eagles.
Yeah.
after last week, they were playing for they lost to the Giants.
Yeah.
And so it's just like kind of
They're
hard
not-
to trust them now.
they're
The
gone.
Giants are not a great team.
Yeah.
That division is awful.
Terrible.
Like,
Even the Cowboys look terrible.
could anybody in that division? Someone's going to make the playoffs. Could any of those teams even win a playoff
Someone
game?
has to be in the playoffs in that division. Isn't that crazy?
I don't
That's the
think.
thing about football that I love is divisions. You know what I
I
mean?
do not think that no matter who makes it out of there, unless something major changes, I don't think any of them can win a playoff game.
Yeah.
The NFC is pretty top. Like they're good. They're a good conference. I mean,
Yeah.
they're pretty stacked. So if you can think about who they're going to play, they're going to be.
They're getting crushed right away.
Yeah, most likely.
So you know for a fact that no wild card teams go in there, even with the extra wild card game. Nothing's coming out of that division. Just the division.
No,
Just-
yeah. I mean, so whoever wins the division's going to get a
yeah,
home
that's
game.
it. So
They're going to get a home game.
It might be a 6-7 deal.
but they're going to get crushed by the wild card.
I will bet money that it'll be a 6-7 team making the playoffs. No, that's happened a
Yeah.
bunch of times.
No, I
It's
mean-
not like it's that. I mean, but this is if it's going to happen, it's going to be that division.
Well, they would be like 6-10.
That's what I meant. I'm sorry, I meant 6-10.
Yeah.
I said 6-7.
That's like
Thinking of
fantasy,
fantasy.
13 weeks.
I meant
yeah.
6-10. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I meant.
Yeah, no, I know what you meant. So,
Yeah.
they're just that's a wasteland.
What's
that
the next
division. Next game is New England Patriots at Houston Texans. The Patriots are -2.
That's a good match. I do think the Patriots are going to bounce back this year. I do think they're going to make the playoffs. I think they beat I'm going to take the Pats.
Okay, I'm going
Let's
to
say the
take
spread one more time
-2.
for the Patriots.
Patriots are -2. They're favored.
I'll take it though.
Okay, I'm going to take the Texans +2 at home.
I think they win by a field goal.
So that's another disagreement. I think it's going to be a close game. Houston's at home.
Yeah, it's not enough points to make me scared to pick Houston.
Yeah, it's not a huge thing, the points, but I trust Deshaun Watson much more than I trust Cam Newton. So, okay, so that's another one we disagree on.
Yeah.
Next game is Pittsburgh Steelers at Jacksonville Jaguars. Pittsburgh Steelers are -10.5.
Oh, I'm taking the Steelers.
Me too.
I think they cover, get 14 points at least.
Yeah, the way they blew out Cincinnati last week,
Mm-hmm.
the 10.5 is not enough to turn me off of them.
Yeah.
So we're both taking the Steelers -10.5.
What's next?
Next game is Atlanta Falcons at New Orleans Saints. Saints
Woo,
are
division game.
-4.5.
Taking this. I mean, even with Jameis Winston, whoever at quarterback, with that the Saints defense is on fire lately. They're getting like 2 picks, 2 fumbles every game.
Yeah.
So I'm taking the Saints.
Yeah, you know me. I love the Saints.
Yeah.
I'm taking the Saints.
Yeah.
I picked them to win their division. I picked them to be the #1 team in the NFC.
They could run the ball.
I picked them to possibly go to the Super Bowl. That was my pick out of the NFC. So I really like the Saints.
Yeah.
Like you said, even with Breeze out, you still have Kamara, you still have Thomas. The defense has really been coming on, like you just said.
Yeah.
So we're both taking the Saints -4.5. Next game is the Cincinnati Bengals at Washington Redskins. Redskins are -2.
I'm with Alex Smith. I feel good about them. I'm going to take them. I'm taking the Redskins. Redskins, whatever.
Yeah,
Washington.
They're the Redskins.
Whatever you want to call them. They're the Redskins.
They're definitely the
That's who
Redskins.
they are.
Until they actually change their name.
It's like saying a tree. It's not a tree anymore. It's wood. It's like, no, it's a tree. It's still a tree.
Yeah.
Still the same team.
And
I don't
if they
care.
really wanted
Until
people
they change their name to something
if they
else.
wanted people to stop calling them the Redskins, they
Change
needed
the
to
name.
change the name.
They're not Washington
you can't
football
keep
team.
football team.
Right, yeah.
That's like the worst thing
yeah,
ever.
we're beating that horse though.
So all right, I'm gonna take the Bengals +2. I think that Alex Smith should have been the starter from the very beginning of the season, and I like Alex Smith, but I really Burrows and T. Higgins, and they got a good young team, the Bengals. So I'm gonna take the Bengals.
Yeah.
So next game is the Miami Dolphins at the Denver Broncos. Miami -3.
I'll take Miami.
Yeah, me too. I'm surprised that spread's not bigger.
I think Tua's going to start getting better too.
I just can't believe it's only -3. So, I think the Dolphins are underrated at this point. They're 6-3. They're right in the mix of things.
I don't know if they're underrated. I think they're rated, right? 'Cause
That's-
people are starting to catch on to that team. The defense is on fire. Everyone notices it.
That's true.
I
And I
mean-
guess they are on the road.
Yeah,
So being a 3-point favorite at a neutral site's really like a 6-point favorite.
exactly. Yeah.
So, okay. So we both got the Dolphins -3. Next game is New York Jets at Los Angeles Chargers. Chargers are -9.5.
I'm that's tough.
It's a lot of points. Yeah.
Do the Jets cover? That's really what it comes down to. It's not about who's going to win. It's do the Jets cover?
Do they? Yep.
I'm going to say they cover. I'm going to let. Normally, I take the points against the Jets. Oh man, the Chargers aren't bad either. I'm going to switch. I'm taking the Chargers.
Yeah, I have the Chargers.
Yeah.
Herbert's
amazing.
Yeah,
he's
I love Herbert.
He's turning into an elite quarterback.
He is turning into as a rookie.
Yeah, you can't call him elite yet
without Eckler.
Because look,
with
you
had
RG3. You had RG3 in his rookie year, and everybody said he's elite, and he's not. So I'm not going to call Herbert an elite quarterback until he makes the playoffs, goes deep into the playoffs.
Let's put it
then
this
you're
way.
an elite quarterback.
He's playing elite, but you can't be elite in your rookie year.
You can't be.
You have to show some consistency to be elite.
Unless you win a playoff game, you're not an elite quarterback.
Yeah. So
period.
I love watching Herbert play, and I'm a Raiders fan, so I don't like the Chargers, but he's fun to watch. He's super talented.
Yeah.
He's going to be a great quarterback for years to come.
Yeah.
And so there's no way that I can't trust the Jets to do anything. Yeah. So they're just so bad.
I just want to look at Herbert's stats real quick while we're talking about. Where is he? He should be on top. There he is.
Yeah, he's up there.
Yeah, he is number 7 overall,
and he missed the game,
averaging 29 points a game.
Yeah. Dude, if he didn't miss a week, if he didn't, not play in week 1, he would definitely be top 5.
Yeah, I agree. You're averaging 29 points a game.
Yeah, he's at 7.
Rodgers averaged 30.1 or something like that. So yeah, he probably was 6 overall. That makes sense. If he got 29 points in week 1. That's a big if. But yeah, I think he could have done it.
Well, but they do it. They don't do it by average what you are for your position.
No.
They do it by total points.
I know.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. If you add his average,
what is Rodgers?
If you added his average, right? If you say this is basic math. If you added his average to week 1, he'd be 6 overall.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Well, is Rodgers 6?
Rodgers is 5th, and he's averaging 30 points a game.
Okay.
So he would be just below. He'd be exactly at 6.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, if he had a little bit more though that game,
is it's a number 1.
I know.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a top end number.
There's
1.
always that chance he could have got 35 points that game.
That's what I mean. And
but you can't. No, you kind of have to give him his average.
Of course. Yeah. So all right. So let's go to the next game. We both had the Chargers on the previous game. Green Bay Packers at Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah.
Colts are -2.
Oh man, that's a good game.
It's going to be a great game.
I'm going to take the Packers.
I am too.
Yeah.
I just trust Rodgers a lot more than Phillip Rivers.
Yeah.
So, I know
they're really banking on the Colts defense shutting Rodgers down.
I know.
That's really what here's the thing. Vegas, that's what it is?
Yeah, I think that. So here's the thing. I think that the Colts defense is awesome, and I think that they might limit Rodgers, but they're not going to completely shut him down.
Yeah, I think the Packers still win.
And the Packers, Aaron Jones is one of the better running backs in the league,
and even behind him,
Devontae Adams is a stud.
They got depth, and the Packers defense is no chump either.
So we're both taking Packers +2.
Yeah.
If Adams is out, that could definitely change things, but at this point, we don't know.
Right.
So I'm gonna assume that he's going to play.
Yeah.
All right, that's going to be one of the games of the week.
Yeah, what's next?
For sure. Next game is Cowboys at Vikings.
Okay.
Vikings -7.5.
This one's got 9.5, but like I said, we're not using this one.
Yeah,
I just wanted to compare that game because I know that's a big spread game.
Yeah.
It's okay. So, how many points you said?
Vikings are -7.5.
Okay. I'm taking the Vikings.
Me too.
Yeah, but
the Vikings
without a quarterback with they look like they're lost in the desert.
Andy Dalton's going to be back, but it's still not Dak Prescott.
No, they look like they're lost. They look like they're lost out there. They don't look like they're a team anymore. You know what I mean?
Definitely. And the Vikings, they started off really slow.
Yeah.
But they've been really coming on over the last couple weeks.
Yeah.
I mean,
the pieces are still there.
They could honestly.
People thought that defense was going to be either the best defense in the league this year or in top 5, and they didn't do that at first, but. I think, like you said, they're starting to click now.
I think the reason they started so slow is they literally let all their starting corners go.
Yeah.
So they had all these young guys who never played together, no offseason.
Yeah, they focused on their pass rush, not their pass defense.
Preseason.
Yeah.
So they had no time to gel. So they ended up gelling over the first 4 weeks of the season instead of having a preseason to do that.
Dalvin Cook is amazing.
Yeah, he's the top.
Is he the number 1 running back? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's been on fire.
Yep.
So he just looks like the best running back in the league right now.
I could honestly see them going on a run and making the playoffs.
Yeah,
they're only 4-5, so they're not even close to being out of it yet.
Yeah.
So both got the Vikings there. Next game, Sunday Night Football, Kansas City Chiefs at the Las Vegas Raiders.
Ooh.
Chiefs are minus
rivalry.
7.5.
I'm taking the Raiders. Are you really going to take...
I don't know.
I can't believe that I'm taking the Raiders and you're not.
It's tough. I mean, the
Just being
Raiders
realistic.
already beat the Chiefs once, which you would think that actually makes me like more nervous though, because now
The
do you
points,
know-
too. Look how many points it is.
Do you
You said
know-
7.5?
yeah, it is a lot of points.
That's a lot of points.
Do you know though that the Chiefs went almost an entire calendar year without a loss
Yeah.
until the Raiders beat them?
And they can still
No,
beat,
no,
they can
I
still
know.
beat the
No,
Raiders.
no, I know.
The point. I'm taking the points. I'm not even saying that the
Yeah.
Chiefs are going to lose.
Yeah,
I think the Chiefs win the game. I think it'll be a 3 to 5 point game.
yeah.
I'm taking the points. Taking the Raiders for the
I'm
point.
going to take
They're
the
gonna cover,
Raiders
yeah.
as well. 7.5 is too much.
Yeah.
And I mean the Raiders could definitely win outright. They already beat them once this year in Kansas City, which they had not beaten. You know, the Raiders not beating Kansas City in Kansas City since Carr was the starter.
Mhm.
That was his first win against Kansas City in Kansas City. He had played awful there. So, but I just think that they already beat them once. Their confidence is high. And the running game for the Raiders has really came on over the last couple weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, last week you had Jacobs go over 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. You had Devontae Booker over 80 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So last time these two teams played, it was 40 to 32, and it was an absolute shootout. I think
Yeah.
it still could be a high-scoring game, but I think that instead of going crazy throwing the ball, I could really see the Raiders really trying to grind it out on the ground and just bully the Chiefs and keep Mahomes on the sideline and eat up clock.
Yeah.
So, all right, we're both going Raiders plus 7.5, and that's the Sunday night game.
So we're on Monday
Last
night.
game of the week,
Okay.
Monday Night Football, is the Los Angeles Rams at Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Buccaneers are 3.5 point favorites.
I am going to take the Rams.
I also took the Rams.
Yeah.
Yep. So,
So we agree a lot this week,
yep.
which is fine.
We
It
had
happens.
4 disagreements. I mean,
Oh,
that's
okay.
not-
Yeah, that's a good amount.
That's not
Yeah, I
nothing.
didn't know it was that many. That's a good amount.
Oh no, never mind. You changed you changed to the Chargers.
Yes.
You initially took.
Yeah, no.
So I wrote it down.
Yeah,
as
the
soon as-
Chargers is too
yeah,
good.
I
too
wrote
good.
Chargers
It's
down
a lot
as soon
of
as you
points,
said
but
Jets.
Herbert's going
As
to
soon
kill
as
him.
you said Jets, I checked it.
Yeah,
and I
Herbert's
forgot
gonna
you
kill him.
changed it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have 3. So
Yeah.
that's not terrible. But yeah, I just don't. The Bucs have been so inconsistent, and the Rams, they have that interior pass rush. Obviously, Aaron Donald is probably the best defender in the league,
Yeah.
and that's what gets to Brady. Brady, I mean, any pressure gets to him, but pressure off the edge, he can step up in the pocket and he's fine.
Yeah.
He hates pressure in his face.
Right.
So I just see in that pass rush, I mean, even last week against Seattle, Russell Wilson's an elusive quarterback. They were all over him. So I just see
Wait, is this... Hold on a second. I'm just going to make sure everything's...
they have that interior pass rush. Obviously, Aaron Donald
Sounds
is
great.
probably the Yeah. best defender. in
Dude,
the
you know this button's been on the whole time?
What do you mean?
Remember how that it was giving us an echo last time?
Didn't do
It's
it?
been on the whole time. It's not...
You should
no,
shut it off, though.
no, you want to know why? It's because I turned these on. I turned this on.
Oh.
They
Okay.
have no idea what we're talking about. But just to
Yeah.
show you, I turned the noise gate on and I turned the noise suppression on, and I'm using the equalizer on the computer instead of there.
I'm surprised
that's
it's
why
still
it's-
not echoing.
But that's
though.
why it's working.
Yeah.
I synced everything together.
You should still shut that off.
I will.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I just see, like, the Rams' defense is coming on, and so that's what, I mean, in the 3.5 points, that's not a lot, but it's something.
Yeah.
It's over a field goal. And the Bucs have been so inconsistent. It's just really weird.
Right.
I didn't expect them to, like, blow out a team, then get blown out.
Yeah.
Then play great and look like one of the better teams, and then get crushed. And then just, like, back and forth all year, it seems like.
Right.
Still a good team, don't get me wrong, but it's going to be a battle.
Yeah, I agree.
So, yeah, that
it.
is our week
That
11
is our
schedule.
week 11 schedule. Yep.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good week. There's a bunch of games I got circled. This is gonna be great games.
Yep.
For this week.
Tune in next Thursday.
Is there anything else you want to talk about or no?
No, I think I think that was a good one.
All
What are we,
right.
50 minutes in.